one of the little games he played is there were people who had come to the United States originally seeking asylum, saying that their life was in danger and what have you, if they remained in their country of origin. The United States gave them the status and said, okay, we will recognize you as a refugee, a political refugee, what have you, an economic refugee, whatever the circumstance may have been. And Trump comes along and says, well, we found all these people who had come to our country as refugees, years ago, and we see that they have since traveled back to their country of origin. Well, if they've traveled back to their country of origin, then obviously it is safe for them to return. So they no longer are a refugee. Folks, come on, let's use some reason. Please, let's use our heads for a minute. If somebody left Cuba 25 years ago, claiming to be, for instance, a political refugee, they're running away from political persecution, the possibility of death at the hands of Fidel Castro. They come to the United States. Circumstances in Cuba change 20 years later. So they finally are able to go back and visit loved ones and see family members that they have not been able to see in decades because the United States has loosened up its rules. People can now travel to Cuba, things like this. Circumstances have changed, obviously. But Trump comes along and he and his Nazi minions, and they say, well, but if you can travel back there now, then you need to go home. Really? Folks, I'd give anything in the world for people to use a little bit of common sense. If you lived in this country for 10 years, if you lived in this country for 5 years for that matter, as a refugee, first of all, you're a legal resident. You're not here illegally, you're here legally.